Good morning, my gorgeous. It is Friday the 9th of October 2020. It is just about to go 9 a.m. I'm sitting in the kitchen in the Airbnb where I'm doing my quarantine, and there is no clouds. I'm trying to get as much sun as possible to get some vitamin D so that one does not wither away. Need the vitamin D, don't you, Bobs? So tomorrow I change locations and I go further east from here on to a coastal area called Pagington, I think. Pagington. And I booked a place there for 7 days. It's like a studio, which is fine because basically I just spend all my time in this little room in the kitchen anyway, so it will be similar. I hope there's sun as well that comes there. So that's good, isn't that sweet? But it's a little bit further away from you, which in some ways is good because while I'm not tempted to visit because I don't want any trouble with the police, etc., does sort of make it a bit easier because you are very close here. It's really strange that this virus thing doesn't seem particularly troubling to me, and it's strange that I'm sort of bowing down to it, but I guess I need to do what I need to do to be able to see you, because if I come, your mother would definitely call the police and then I'll be taken to prison, and if I have a prison thing then I won't be able to stay in Europe, and then we'll be completely separated. So I am being a bit weak in a way, but I'm being a little bit strategic because I know your mama is trying to trap me, which is really a shame and very hard to understand. Really hard to understand, considering we've been together for 13 years and I'm her husband, the father of her daughter. Anyway, so I just entirely put all my trust in God and sorting this out, Baba, in the direction that it's going to go. It's impossible for me to go back to Australia because you have to get an airplane ticket, which you can't. And then once you get to Australia, you have to self-isolate there for 14 days. But you can't do it in a house, you have to do it in a hotel, and it's about 3,000 Australian dollars or something to do that. So anyway, I trust God. I know it's going to work out. And I was cut off yesterday talking about this. Trusting God is a really amazing thing. And I don't think I really speak to you about it enough, because the way that Mama is framing me is that I'm a Christian fundamentalist. And so if I talk about God all the time, she'll say, see, he's talking about God all the time. He's not normal. He's not. Normal people don't talk about God. It's true. The world has changed to such an extent that God just doesn't even exist in most people's lives. And if you talk about it, you're seen as strange. And that's why our civilization is just disintegrating. It's like crumbling. Because we don't talk about God. And there's all the great episodes in history, people have put their trust in God. For example, when the Polish overthrew the Soviet Union, it was crushing their people. In the 80s, they said, you know what, we're going to put God at the center, we're not going to put man, because the Soviet Union, every idea and everything just crumbles and nothing becomes real anymore. It sort of becomes hard to grasp anything because it's all just spiraling out of control. So they decided to focus on God and put God back in their lives, because with socialism, etc., God becomes illegal, becomes unlawful to go to church and to worship God. So they said, you know what, I'm done with that. I'm going to put God back in the centre of our life. And they did that, and they managed to overthrow the Soviet Union, which was a tremendously violent, brutal regime. And it wasn't many people that were able to overthrow the Soviet Union, just a few. But it was those that said, I trust God and I'm going to put God back in my life. I want God in my life. I'm not going to pretend that God doesn't exist. I'm not going to ignore God. And when they did that, they just powered forward, which is just awesome. That's it, Bobby. So God is the centre of my life. And God gave me you. And I know I need to endure this situation. And I am. And it's very difficult. But I will endure, and I will have my daughter back. Please just don't get any tattoos or anything, sweetie. Please. Don't do anything like that. Please, 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 please. Just know that your Papa loves you. God has got you. Your Papa loves you. He wants you. He wants this relationship with us, Papa. And I always keep praying for Mama, Papa. I pray that the light comes on, God turns the light on. So I'm getting this sun on my face, which is great to get that vitamin D. I hope you're getting lots of vitamin D too, sweet. I love you. I love you, daughter. I love